I think there's a quarterback out there that hasn't had a bad game yet, and he hasn't had a bad game in his career yet, and it's Jayden Daniels. Like, I sit here, I thought Jayden Daniels would be a good player. I didn't think he'd be still kind of riding a perfect game in the ninth inning, right? Like, Jayden Daniels has been so far and beyond what I thought he was going to be as a rookie that, to me, he's the biggest surprise. I get Darnold. Darnold, obviously, a great answer for this, but in a different way, Jayden Daniels has far exceeded any expectation I had for him this year. I thought he'd be rookie of the year. I didn't think he'd be an MVP candidate. Like, he has been on just like, he has not had a bad game yet. Really, when you look back, like, first game was like, he wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. And the Ravens game, he was fine when they lost. Like, he played pretty well in that game. Every other game they've won, he's been great. Jayden Daniels, to me, is the biggest surprise in that I didn't expect somebody to duplicate the CJ Stroud rookie season the next year. Like, I thought, this is a comet. Yeah. This isn't going to happen again for a while. And Jayden Daniels has been awesome. Like, he's been great.
One of my favorite stories about him, there were I think it was a couple linemen. I'm going to do my best at recollecting this story. There's a couple of linemen were heading into the facility. And I think it was like 6 a.m. and they're thinking like, oh, we're going to get in here. We're getting in early. We're going to get our lift in. We're going to be the early guys, all this stuff. We're going to unlock the front door. And they get there and Jayden Daniels is there. He's already lifted and he's like halfway through his film work at like 6 a.m.
Wow.
And they're like, this is crazy. Like, what, this dude is already like, that is some like Kobe stuff, right? That's the like Kobe plays a game and then goes and lifts for 90 minutes afterward hard, right? That's the Kobe in the Olympics for the Redeem team. Guys are coming back from the club at 5 a.m. and Kobe's in the elevator completely drenched from his, 3:30 to 5 a.m. workout. And then, ready to go to the shoot around at 10 o'clock. There's some aspect of him that has captured everyone in that organization. And when I talked to some people there heading into the trade deadline, even they were like, look, our roster isn't like our record in our roster. It's not like our roster's right. Not, we still got a lot of work to do on our roster. And somehow we are where we are. That's and they're like, we're just going to take this momentum and we're going to build into it. And they were clearly going to acquire something into the deadline. I think I talked about it even before they made the Lattimore, trade we talked about on the show. I said, look, they're looking for corners and defensive linemen. They go and they get a solid corner. And yeah, I think he's definitely worthy of falling into that surprise.
I just keep thinking about Jory's story over the summer that I was high on the Commanders. Obviously, they were a team I talked about a lot in the summer. But when I read Jory's story about how exactly what you were talking about, Charles, how this guy's already all in. Like he's their first guy there, last guy to leave. And a lot of times that's nonsense. But in this case, you could tell through her reporting and we've talked about Jayden too, just kind of, this guy's different. This is not the norm, especially for a rookie quarterback. He already gets it. And he'd already balled out against the SEC, so we knew the talent was there. And he has matched the talent with like this incredible work ethic and the desire to get better. Just stay healthy, Jayden, because man, the sky's the limit for this kid. I can't wait to see his career unfold.
If he makes it, I will always tell people I was there for the moment where I'm telling that preseason game when he audibled out of that screen and knew he shouldn't, wasn't supposed to, was specifically told not to, and he was like, "F it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw a go ball, and I'm just going to get in trouble. This is how it's going to have to be."
And threw a dime. And threw an absolute freaking dime.
Yeah,
at the
absolutely.
Miami Brown, I believe it was.
I will never, it will be, and just hearing Dan Quinn be like, that was his Buzz the Tower moment. Like, he was going to do it, and we're going to yell at him later, but what the hell? That will always resonate to me, that moment where I'm like, whoa, this dude, he just said, screw it. I'm not going to listen. I'm going to win. I'm going to make this play because I can make this play. And the players were all like, that's pretty sweet.